Their friends, associates, employees, and all. On a more personal note, I'll tell you that if anything I say or do here tonight seems hostile in any way, please bear in mind that Andrew is the primary reason I saw the film Battlefield Earth. And if you know anything about that movie, it's as good a reason as any to hold a grudge. Now, where to begin? I think it's safe to say that since I and Andrew have known each other since before either of us can remember, I'm the one who knows where all the bodies are buried. And when I say bodies, I mean Masters of the Universe action figures and Ninja Turtles.
Oh,
yes. If you want any clarification on that story, come to me later. I don't know if it's suitable for everyone here. But please know that no beloved childhood toy has ever met so ignominious an end as those He-Men did at Andrew's hands. So, how to account for the truly odd nature of this man? I can only tell you a small handful of stories because time is of the essence. And whether these stories lead to greater illumination or greater puzzlement is not for me to say. The first time I became aware of how strange he was, however, was when we were roughly 4. His family was visiting as was a regular occurrence, and my parents are big collectors of Aboriginal art. Much of this art is gorgeous. I don't know what Andrew's problem was, but on one occasion, he just took it into his head that the masks were terrifying. And not only would he not let it go, not only was this fear totally irrational and an ongoing thing, but because one of the masks was at the top of the stairs leading to the second floor, Andrew needed us to lead him upstairs backwards with a towel over his head. Either so he couldn't see the mask or it couldn't see him. I don't know which. And as a result, I became aware early on not only of this chap's extreme eccentricities, but also of his bizarre desire to have others participate in his peculiar psychoses. A sign of things to come, I'm sure, because as any of his friends can attest to, he always wants them to play a part in whatever strange behavior he engages in. As you may well know, Andrew also has a common and likable tendency towards exaggeration. He is, in short, a teller of tall tales. He has, for example, tried to convince me on a number of occasions that actress Deborah Winger is actually a man, and that Orlando Bloom is not. Of Deborah Winger, I would say his theories are demonstrably untrue. Of Orlando Bloom, I'd say he might be onto something. He's also tried to tell me that King Kong was originally intended to be a biography of Hollywood legend Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle. Sometimes all you can do is smile at this guy's stories and humor him. But the most important story I have to tell you is about our trip to Mexico, and in particular, a night at Senior Frogs. Because I don't think even he remembers most of what happened. Senior Frogs is a Mexican drinking establishment. It's a chain. It has a cute little frog over the front doorway. It's a cartoon, right? I don't know why the Mexicans allowed frogs to drink that much, but it's not my place to say. Anyway, we went there. We decided, even though he's not a big drinker, never has been, never will be, that we were going to cut loose one night on our vacation in Mexico, have a good time. We somehow got our signals crossed, though, about how we were going to do this, because I thought it was just going to be a marathon type thing. We were going to take it easy and just mellow, consistent, nothing too heavy. And as soon as we got in there, he started chugging. By the time I finished one drink, he was on his third. And what surprised me more than anything was he maintained very nicely for the bulk of the evening. But at one point I turned around and he was just instantly hammered. It seemed like he went from a 5 to an 11 in the space of, like that. I don't know what happened there really, but I decided this guy's cooked, we gotta get out of here. So I bustled him outside, hailed a cab, and that's when the singing started. By show of hands, how many of you have ever heard Andrew sing? Yeah. I'm not sure quite how to describe it to you, The best comparison I could make is something akin to Barbra Streisand, only less nasal. So, like, better than Babs, but, you know, who among us isn't? Anyway, so I get him into the cab, the singing continues, the cab driver looked worried the whole way. He turned to me and said, if this guy is not going to be all right, you know, please let me know. And I said, it's only when he stops singing that you really have to worry. We got him to the hotel, kept singing all the way up to the room, got him into the room, and he just stood by his bed, eyes closed, tottering on his heels, and continued to cycle through his entire repertoire of sea shanties. That's what it was the whole way. Sea shanties and maybe a Weird Al song or two for good. Yeah. And it is a feat I have not witnessed before or since, because he did not miss a word. He didn't sound any damn good, but he did not miss a single word in any of these songs. They were perfect. This man appeared to be out on his feet, completely unconscious and dead to the world, but he had to finish his repertoire before he could go to bed. And I realized right then and there that even though he may not have had a girlfriend at that moment, sooner or later some woman would have to recognize the rare and unique qualities this man possesses. So, Andrew, I have a special treat for you, a little extra present. You can open it in front of these nice people here.
Okay, we will.
Andrew, for you a bottle of champagne so that on your wedding night you might serenade your lady. And Peter, for you, earplugs. Because you're going to get tired of it real fast and you can't make them stop, but at least you got to try. You just will not stop. Andrew, Heather, thank you for having me up here tonight to share some memories with everyone.
Of course.
And I wish you all the happiness you could ever wish for.